Okay, here we go. I'm grabbing my link here, and I'm putting it in Discord, and then we'll start. Okay, so to get started here, frame rate's low because I'm streaming, but to get started here, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the landscape. I don't think we really need it. I have a good enough idea of what this landscape is going to end up looking like, what this environment is going to end up looking like. And the first big thing I'm going to change here with the start of the stream, and I haven't touched any of this since the last stream. The only thing I've changed is the virtual. I turned on virtual texturing, but when you have situations like this, uh, where the river cuts in and erodes away on one side and it's flat on the other side, the river is much more curved. That only happens when rivers are curved. So I'm just going to curve this a bit more here. I think that's good enough for now. Now, one thing I really want to do is build out some of the ground going up this way. Then I'll probably rearrange these rocks and add some more rocks in. But definitely want to build out that ground. So I'm going to open up bridge here. And I'm just going to search ground. And I'm going to go into 3D assets, nature. Rocky Forest path is might be something we use. Not that second one though. Lots of just the general ground assets are don't really fit with this environment, as you can see. So I'm trying to find some here that do. I'm not sure if I'm going to be very successful. Oh, oh, here we go. Okay, this is better. So let's keep going. Let's see what there is here. Then we have some of the older ground assets that have been around longer. These embankments. I think I'll make use of these. Yeah, because we're right next to a river here. So having some moss would make sense. and Forrest, so all the roots make sense as well. So I think I'll start bringing some of these embankments in. Somehow Bridge signed me out though, so I'm going to go sign in on my second screen that I'm not streaming. Then we'll start dragging assets into the editor. Oh, okay, looks like it immediately signed me in when I hit sign in, so that's nice. So let's just set Bridge right over here, and let's drag this in, and let's drag this one in. And I like these rocks here. Oops. So let's drag this in as well. And if you're not super familiar with how the bridge is built into Unreal Engine 5 works, these are the low polygon versions of these assets with low resolution textures. And these are just here while the nanite resolution meshes download. So for now I'm going to get rid of these rocks. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this spot here in terms of rocks and how rocky I'm going to make it and all of that kind of stuff. For now, I'm going to grab these two embankments, bring them over here, and slide them in a way where it looks natural, as natural as I can get it to look. Something like that. Yeah. And while I'm thinking about it here, I'm gonna go to the sky atmosphere, and I'm trying to remember a name for a setting here. To get the bottom half of it to be blue as well and not just black. I can't remember what that setting is called. Alright, for now, just throw in an exponential height fog then. Which I want to put here eventually, but I don't want to restart the engine to enable a project setting that I like to use with exponential height fog right now during the stream. And I didn't think about doing it beforehand. So let's just grab exponential heights fog, make it volumetric, and I'll leave it like that for now. I'm going to change the density down to 0.01 instead of 2. And I'm going to check on the status of these. Not very far along yet, but this one has lots of roots running through it. I want to use it closer to trees, so I'm going to look for a different second embankment. Here, I think I'll use this one. Yeah, Yeah, I'll use this one, definitely. But it has a log going through the middle, so I'll also grab this one, and this one as well, and why not just grab this one? This one I'll move over here for now. This one I'll turn like this, and I'll move it over here. And there's a gap here that we'll need to cover somehow. Maybe this is where we use this rock. Maybe we put this rock here. And then use this rock. Maybe, I'm not sure about this yet. We're just experimenting here to try to bridge the gap between this and the ground by tilting to this side and then forwards a little bit. And then we'll do the exact same thing with this rock. Duplicate it with Control W, drag it, that. No, maybe not. Okay, let's get back to just laying these out for now. I'm just pressing W for transform mode and E for rotation mode here. They're super useful shortcuts, but I actually didn't even start using them much until quite recently, when it was the only way I think or the only way I figured out how to transfer between translation and rotation in Cascader, the animation program that I've been trying to learn recently. And I just sort of by default started using it inside of Unreal Engine, and I'm so glad I am. It's so much easier than trying to click on everything back here. So now this one I'll bring back over here, and I will rotate it this way. And one thing I didn't know about the Valley of the Ancients Unreal Engine 5 demo that I do know now, because I couldn't really run it well on my computer. I haven't looked at it much because of that. It's my graphics card, really. Is that for the demo, there is no landscape. I initially thought there was a landscape. It's built entirely out of Megascan's assets all over the ground, and so I thought I'd try to do that instead of the landscape here with that. Try to get more detail, because obviously Unreal Engine 5 can handle that amount of detail. Hardest part is, then figuring out how to play stuff, is getting everything to blend in with these rocks. And I think I've been doing pretty good so far. Looks natural enough. Now there's a rock sort of coming up right here. And so it might look good to put another couple of rocks near it, and there are a couple of rocks in this mega scan. So I'm going to use it right over here. Okay, there's not as many rocks here as I thought there were, but it still works, I think. So I'm just continuously rotating this, I think. Trying to get it to line up, but I think, oops, wrong shortcut there. I think my best bet is to just duplicate it, rotate it, and do something like this. But does it stick out over here now? Yes, it does. Let's move it over some. And try rotating it some more. And it's like there's a couple of pebbles there. I think that just adds a bit of realism. Now I think I might raise this one up some to blend it in. Raise this rock up a little bit. And now there's a disconnect right here, which I can hopefully fix just by rotating and raising this. I think that's alright now. So now I'm going to grab this one, again, duplicate it. I'm using Control W to duplicate. I'm going to turn it around this way, because if I just rotate it a little bit, the rocks can come in, but not cover up the roots, and I think that looks nice. I'm going to duplicate this one, rotate it around this way, and move it over here. Like that. And now there's these, and I want to go into, first off, there's a shadow here being caused by this one, which I forgot about. I want to get it out of my way, and I'm going to add some variety into this using this asset here. There's a seam that needs covered. I'll use this asset again. And I know I just did all that with the roots on this one, but looking at this now, it's like it's rising up. There's a slope in the land right here. There's more rocks, so there probably should be some sort of rock formation right here. Just because of how I've been placing this stuff. And just ignoring that won't help. So I need to find that mossy rock here. And this too. And I'll start with this right here. I'm also going to bring this one over, rotate it around like this. Lower it. Duplicate this. I keep hitting Control E instead of Control W, which is another useful really just another useful hotkey that I just discovered is Control E. When you have something selected, I guess Control E will open the asset file for it. I need, maybe, I need a mossy rock here that has all of its sides. So I'm going to go back into Bridge, and I'm just going to search mossy rock, actually, mossy rock, and turn off caps lock as well. And let's make sure we're in 3D assets. Well, here. I think I might use this. And this. I like this. Yeah, I might use this too. And this, yeah, I'm not even going to use this. I like these three better. I can use them together. So this is the biggest one. I want to build up to it first, using the two smaller ones. I don't want to go straight from these really small rocks to this really big rock. So I'm going to gradually work our way towards this rock here, using this big rock here. I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to spin it around this way this time. I'll put it right here. And I'll duplicate this, spin it around. I think we need a third one. I'll just set it right there. That needs to be lowered down, like that. And now I will bring the big rock over. Maybe not this rock. What does that look like from the shore? Not bad. If we move it down some, it'll look better. Maybe rotate this one too. Maybe just lower it. And bring this rock up. That's not bad, but I think I'm going to turn it. Oh yeah, it looks much better. Turn this way. Much better, I think. Let's move that in closer. And yeah, because now I can, I'll take this rock, I'll put it right over here instead. Like that. And then I can just grab one of these. This one, I think. I can duplicate it, rotate it, move it. And try to work it in. Really work it in to this environment, right? To this rock here. Which means this rock will need to be raised up. And there's a little seam here. I might just be able to fix that by keep hitting Control E by duplicating this. And I did not duplicate it by duplicating this and moving it over here, rotating it around, moving it more. Trying to really make it flush with everything else here. Not flush with this, so I think we need something to, oh my goodness, Control E. I never used to have this problem. Maybe it's where my chair is at compared to my keyboard on my desk. I'm super excited to see how all this looks when the nanite resolution assets get in. I think this rock might be better served. We go right here. And help to fill in this gap here. And that's actually looking pretty good, I think. Control E. Why do I keep hitting you? This is looking pretty nice, I think. Now the colors don't really match up with the rest of the environment here, and that is the largest issue right now. Why is this open? That shouldn't be open. Okay. So I'm going to go into unlit mode, and yes, there's a big difference just in terms of color here. And I think I added a bunch of like tint onto this stuff. No, it's not gonna be that. I'm doing that, so I'm just gonna grab this asset, open the material, and I'm going to change the color here a little. Just gonna tweak it slightly, like that. Just a little bit to try to tie everything together. Not too much. Don't want to go too blue, because I want to go a little blue. Now if I go back into lit, I think that's looking a little better. Things are a little bit more unified. And I'm going to, I guess, off camera here, figure out why some of the rocks didn't come in as nanite meshes. Because I don't want to derail the stream, and I definitely want to fix that. And I'm playing around with sort of extending these rocks a little bit right here. Yeah, I like that. And then, so the beach is a bit bigger here. A bit longer here. I'll have to work on these visible differences in height. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it right now, right here. I do want to go to the nanite visualization, and I really want to keep an eye on overdraw. Yeah, it's worse right here in this area, but it's not really bad yet. It's not, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's bad yet, so. It just never ceases to amaze me going over into the triangle view and how much detail how many triangles are on the screen, and there's all of the missing rocks here. I really don't understand what happened. And then of course the stuff that we have isn't in this stream isn't downloaded yet. Just you can see just the amount of detail in these pebbles. It's really is amazing. And just the detail in the lumen lighting as well. What's interesting is that you have all of this detail everywhere, but then on the low resolution meshes, even the ones that the nanite versions didn't come in for over here, I have to fix. There's not much detail lighting because the resolution is so low. I don't think distance fields have been generated either. I'm gonna play around with the lighting a bit here and the positioning of the sun. I kind of like that. A bit more of a golden sunset. Yeah. So maybe I will take it a little bit further into the sky. Okay. Oh, one of the meshes is downloaded fully. It's preparing it now. I'm not sure which one. Probably the first one we um, took in. And thanks, Blue Triangle Studios. I'm not sure how long ago you sent that message. I just noticed it now. So I'm going to keep working. When that bar is filled, we're probably going to see a drop in FPS unless it automatically converts to nanite. But I'll go and figure out which mesh needs to be dealt with. Oh, well, there it is. The nanite detail mesh right here. And if we, is it using nanite? Yeah, that is the question. Ooh, wow, look at that. Detail. All of the leaves. Wow. And yes, it's automatically using nanite. Good, good. Look at that. Wow. Amazing level of detail here. Oh, messed up something there. I think if I just, there we go. That fixes it. And now, it's a pretty sharp transition from having all of the moss and then nothing. So I think maybe next time I will adjust that, but this time I want to keep working with this area here. Another neonite mesh is coming in now. Well then, that could be an issue. No. Where's it downloading these assets to? That could be a big problem. Oh no. It better be pulling them straight into this project file and not throwing them somewhere else. I have a couple different partitions on my drive. Okay, yes, it is putting them on my main drive where it's not supposed to be putting them, apparently. That's an issue. Let's open my file explorer, pull it over here, and give me just a moment here. Sorry, everyone. That was unexpected. And a problem. Definitely a problem. It is putting things where I wasn't intending to put them. And it's filling up the wrong disk. And I think I'm good if or will be good for now, if I get rid of a backlog of video stuff from the video that I'm working on, that I just worked on, the Lumen video. So if I delete all of that, how much space does that give me? A lot. Okay, that's almost half a gigabyte of space back. But my main drive is actually split into two partitions here. I was dual booting with Linux for a while, but now I just have a third partition in Windows here. I need to combine them. The Megascan stuff is supposed to be going into that second, not third partition, that second partition. But apparently that isn't the case. So why is Valley of the Ancient? Okay, it's not. It's just a folder name that I guess I started to bring it into the wrong file earlier. Okay, for a second there I thought I had a 100 gigabyte Unreal Engine 5 demo project on the wrong hard drive. That would have been great, but well, on the wrong solid state drive. That would have been great, but it's not the case. Oh, I wonder if I check. There's one more place I'm going to check here. If I can remember where the file is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so I might not be downloading any more Megascans files to this stream until I can fix that issue afterwards. We have plenty to work with. Plenty to work with, though. couple files can, a couple assets can go a really long way. How much more? Oh, well, hooray. This asset is 120% of the way downloaded. This one 102%. That's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So while those climb up to infinite percentage points, let's continue here. Now that I have this section, once I have the section of landscape in here without noticeable seams, I'm gonna just duplicate it and move it around and do and go through a very similar process to what I went through with the assets on the riverside for the river that does not yet exist. And maybe I'll bring this one up. No, maybe not. And what about this one? Can I just scoot this up? If it rotated around this way, I think that'll work. Yeah, not with this though. So now I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to duplicate it and I'm just going to drag it this way. And I'm going to rotate it this way. And it needs to end a bit this way. Like this. This one is a bit redundant to go there. So instead I'll put it over here. Like that. And I think I'll get rid of this one. And I will move this one over here. Like so. I think I'll hit Control E by accident. Okay, I'll duplicate this. Lower it down. Maybe not. The polygon assets just don't look right next to the Megascan assets that have loaded in. So much detail. And the roots here are making an odd line. It's like they're turning, and I don't think they should be. If roots are running through here, trees are definitely gonna be in this spot, but roots are not going to be like they're gonna be. That looks much better, actually. And so, trees. This is gonna be a pine forest environment after all. Don't like that there. Maybe not even that there. Dragging in these various pieces and putting them in. It's not a workflow I'm familiar with. I'm much more familiar with landscape-based workflows, so it's a bit of a challenge for me, especially since trying to do this all live to show the full process, and I'm not too sure where to go next here. Of course, I want to fill out in this direction, but how I'm going to accomplish that, I'm not yet sure. I do think this right here helped a lot, though. It's less of a sudden shift. Though I think I might actually. I've been building a lot around that, but I'm gonna duplicate this, bring it over, and this process really is all about iteration. And I'm going to bring this one around, rotate it, reposition it, duplicate both of these together. That didn't duplicate both of these together, rotate them around, and scoot this. This one's going to get rotated to about here. I hope you sort of starting to get an idea of what I'm about to do here. I don't like the three big boulders here. That'll have to be some like the three. It's easy to see that it's the same as the duplicated. I'll need to go back and add variety in, but now it's passable. I don't want to focus in on one small detail and lose sight of everything else. I want to get this landscape out further so that we can focus on trees next week, next Wednesday, same time. I think it just adds a bit of much needed separation in. Yeah, I like that more. Also going to find my reference image and open that up again. And really take a look at it. And I'm going to try to use that as a guide. So I think what I'm doing wrong here. And I really wish I could grab some more of those outcrops. But I think I'm going to replace these rocks. I'm going to do something similar, but not with these rocks specifically. And I'm going to grab this rock here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm going to lower it down. Way far down. Maybe turn it around this way. Raise it up. Bring it over. Not that far over. That's much better, actually. I should have done this to begin with. Now, this piece is super noticeable. So I'm going to grab the bigger cliff. And I'm going to duplicate it. Move it in. Rotate it around about right there. Move it down. Things really do happen faster when you use giant cliffs. That's for sure. It's going to continue to rotate and position it. Oh, okay, so no, definitely, it's definitely going this way. It's coming forward to here. It's going over and forward, over, and keep hitting Control E, and I'm going to duplicate this again, and never mind. This rock here, if it didn't have this rock here, it'd be a whole lot harder to tell that it's the same thing. Duplicated over and over and over again. Maybe if I just lower it down enough. Just enough to obscure it like that. Or even better, I just bring it over and they're inside each other. Like that. And then I grab this, duplicate it. I'm going to go into the material here. I'm just going to undo this. And I'm going to probably undo that same thing on the other rocks too, now that the environment's taking shape. I think I'm just going to leave the colors normal, how they should be. My frame's dropped there. What's going on? Not sure. Oh. Oh, okay. Those are the low polygon ones still. Bring this around. Like this. I'm gonna rotate it more so it joins in with this rock formation here. Like that. So then this can be rocky area over here. And I like this transition so much more. One thing that isn't as realistic now is that, well, these rocks would, I think, settle differently here. Something a bit more like that. And maybe these a bit more like that. Oh, now there's a noticeable seam of sorts there. So I can get rid of that. That. Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot better, I think. I'm happy with how this is starting to turn out for this area. I should have began with this. I should have really looked at that reference image. If you're following a reference, stick to your reference. If you're not following a reference, go find a reference. That's all I'll say. Take inspiration from the real world. Doesn't have to be one reference. Get a ton of references, but take inspiration from the real world, from real things. Super, super important thing to do. Because what we think is real and what's actually, what we think will look real or what we think might be real, well, there's a big difference between that and what's actually real. I don't think this is needed really now, but that's going there. I think the peach can just continue. And then on this side, and let's rotate this so that the ground is flat. Because I forgot that I really rotated these cliffs here on the other side of the bank. And so yeah, something like that. And that'll give us a good starting point too, just to bring the ground out further and connect it around to this. And I'm going to do the same rotation here. I'm just going to move it back. this needs adjusting because this has changed drastically. Maybe flip this around so that the more lichen covered side can face the forest hid area. Now there's lots of geometry down here, but it won't be rendered when it's not visible. So it's nanite. I think classically, well, it says this giant clip is here, so let's render the whole thing because part of it's right here, even though it's covered by this. Nanite doesn't do that, so that's nice. So I think it. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I'm pretty sure. So now we can take this tiny bit of land I spent an hour on. Whoops. And bring it up here like that. And wow, this is looking so much better. Now let's just duplicate it. Get over. This one is I think the most noticeable piece in the pattern. So now let's get these three. Let's bring them in further. Down some. Over. Rotate this. Bring it down and in. If you ever feel like you're getting stuck, keep pushing through. I was really getting stuck there. And then suddenly everything just sort of clicked. So when it comes to environments, you will get stuck, but you'll persevere. So now I'm going to open this material and undo that. Gonna open this material, undo that. And if any of you are here who haven't seen the reference, I forgot to show you all again. Whoops, not what I'm trying to do. But this is the reference image. I'm trying to very loosely follow it. So, yeah, trees definitely next stream, next week. We will get those trees in. So let's keep continuing with undoing the color changes that I did. Did I do the same thing to these? Yeah, I did. What does that look like? Does that look better? I think it. Yeah. Let's keep undoing. I disabled nanite on accident. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay, fixed. Now let's go into lit mode. Is this really needed here? No, I don't think it is. That's more variety having that out, except for that there I don't like. Not there. And bring that down and in. Maybe over some more. Try to combine these racks here. I like that more. Yeah. I'm just gonna bring the whole thing up. So like that. Maybe this one. Just disappears. And I think we do need this. Yeah, I think we do. It's just gonna be lower. Like that. There we go. I'm just moving these pieces, trying to expand. Also, there's a big rock here, and I want to respect that as well. So I think if I maybe just pull this to here, merge these rocks a bit more, I think it will go a little better. That's good. That blends fairly well. I just need to raise this slightly. That. Also, working with environments, I'd recommend not following a grid. Natural environments, I mean. Man-made environments, modular pieces, yes, grid definitely, but it's natural stuff like this, the grid restricts you more than it helps you. Definitely. And I'm sorry, I've quiet for a little while there. Concentrating, I guess. Not entirely used to constantly talking while I work, and when I get in the zone, I'll just be quiet. I'll get quiet. Um, Something I should work on during these streams, that's for sure. Maybe more rocks over here. No, that's not the answer to this problem. I'm trying to figure out a bridge the gap between these right here. Maybe this piece. I've just been using the same piece over and over and over. I need to get a couple more of these embankments, as the marketplace is calling them, and it's downloading them to the wrong place, but also into the project, so I have to fix that before I can really download more. So right now I'm stuck working with just these assets here, and it's a interesting challenge to say the least. Or maybe it'll solve itself if I rotate that one correctly like I just did. I'll have to get a little one to cover that seam, but for now I'm going to leave it. And this has to go back down. I have to go from like here to down to here, and that's going to require getting rid of this piece. Maybe this piece as well, and really just lowering these down and bringing them in, rotating them a bit, back up. Just using these roots more. There'll be trees here, so the roots will make sense. I just have to remember that. But they won't make sense coming from the rocks. And reference, this is actually about a mannequin-sized cube, so environment definitely, I think, might feel a little bigger right here than it actually is. Definitely feels like I'm working on a bigger area than just that. That's why it is super, super important to always have a reference for a character size next to you, with you at all times, or you will lose track of scale, and you'll play, and then you'll realize that you hit play, and then you'll realize that you built the entire thing in the wrong scale, and it'll just be a mess. So again, I'm just trying to fill in the area with some ground. And then rotate it around to try to get rid of seams. Of course, there are going to be seams, and that just gets fixed later when I come back through with smaller pieces. And geez, wow, feels so much bigger. Then you look over at this and you realize, oh wow, there's barely anything in an area. Oh, here's that small piece. I thought I'd deleted all of them, and I was too lazy to go find it in the content browser. So I'll start using it more. Or no, it's not that small piece. It's a piece that I thought was much bigger until I put it next to a character. Scale this down by a lot. That's not much. So that I can take it. And where is that discrepancy? Right, just right in here. I just want to move it over just enough. Get a little bit of the rock here. go right there. Just like that. And I think it'd be pretty repetitive. I mean, I can keep going here, but I think I'm going to end out the stream soon. I'm sure you guys can only handle me watching me redo everything over and over again so many times. So I mean, I've successfully not had to redo big sections of this for quite a while, so that's good. I'm really liking where this section is at, so don't worry, I'm not going to be redoing any of this stuff here, but it can be a tiring process to watch, I think. When you're not at the computer making the environment, at least when it's not some super time lapse. That would actually be fun. Making this into a time lapse once it's done, taking all of these the hours and hours and hours of environment work and putting it down into 10 minutes. That would be very, very interesting. Oh, and should really save this for real. But I think I'm going to cut the stream here. It's 30 minutes early, but the storage problem really is a surprise, and it's hindering what I'm able to do with this section. I needed more ground pieces, and I can't download them. Even all the ones I have right now aren't downloaded, so I'm going to go look into that, I think, and that will all be fixed and ready to go for the next stream next Wednesday, same time. So thanks for sticking with the stream. Go join if you're not from the Discord, join the Outcast Dev School Discord. I will throw the link in the live chat right now. I just have to find it here. So go join the Discord. I'll be happy to talk about environment creation, Unreal Engine, game development, all that kind of stuff with anyone. So, well, and we'll continue this. I'll continue this series next Wednesday, and I'm ending the stream now. Oh, 1 second, let me make sure it's all caught up. I don't want to end it on everyone, and when no one has heard me say that I'm going to end it or anything like that. So I'm just double checking that. Oh. So I think, yeah, it's all caught up. There's no big amount of lag, so I'll go ahead and end it.